So I'm going to minimize that. I'll bring up a spreadsheet that I sent. I just sent a spreadsheet on the platform. I called it backtesting for the 4-2, right? So it's a blank sheet like that. So I'm coming to show you how to backtest the strategy that we have done. So to backtest the strategy, you can see clearly that I have typed in here that you should select coin. So you have to decide the coin you want to select. I've made a list of coins. I've made a list of coins here. So if you look through those coins and there's a coin in there there's a coin that you want to put in there that is not there yet, the simplest thing you have to do is just come and add the coin here, right? And then once you add the coin, then you can go and pick it up. But so far, you can just decide to backtest any of these coins. So the list of coins, when you click on that one, that's the select coins, and you go into the drop down, you should see the list of coins that I've put there myself. So we can decide to test something like BTC. You can decide to test FTM, BNB, any of them, right? So let's start with something like ADA. I really like ADA. So then if you want to test ADA, what we are looking for is the date that you entered that trade. And I'll show you what it is on the chart. The time. When you come to the date, you have to key in manually. The time, I've given you the list. So when you go there, there's a drop down. You have to pick from the time that you enter the trade. And then the candlestick patterns that you saw, or we saw potentially to have gone into the trade. So we have the list of candlestick patterns there. The morning star, the evening star, the tweezer bottom, tweezer top, bullish engulfment, bearish engulfment. So you select the type of candlestick pattern that you saw before you enter the trade. And then the question is, the 2%, was it met on the first candle? That's 2% met on first candle. If it is yes, you select and then select yes. Do you understand? If it is no, then you have to move to the next one. If we met the 2% on this candle, then it will be yes here. If it is still no, we didn't meet the 2%, then you have to tell me why. Maybe met met target on third candle. On third. Met target on what's this? On third candle. Do you understand? And then we leave it as such. Met target. Target. Good. Candle, right? And we'll leave it as such. So maybe you would have seen previously, let's say the morning star before you enter the trade. Maybe it was 10 p.m., 10 a.m. in the morning. And then the date possibly was, let's say today. Today's the 14th or 6, right? And then that's it. That's first one done. So let me go into the charts and I'll show you how we do them. Okay. So simple. Let me delete this one. So I'm going to go into the chart. I'm going to juggle my screen. Let's close this. Don't save this. And then let's go. All right. So let's go and pick ADA. So this is ADA. So we will have to be on the 4-hour because we are looking for the trades on the 4-hour. Let me tidy this up a little bit. Close all this. And then let me take that one out. Okay, fine. So let's say right. All right. Let me cancel. Let me just turn some things off. We're testing some scripts, so why is it still showing up? Maybe the other one. Seconds. 1 minute, guys. Another one. Okay. Found this. Now we are in the 4 hour. So let me just make it look tidy. What are the other ones? Right. Okay. Now, what we would have done is we will go way back. See, so let's say we've gone way back. About let's start from here, just here. And so what it is look at this. When we are here and we have gone into this trade, it means that we went into the trade. If you look at the bottom here, it tells you the date and the time. You see, so we went into the trade. Let me put a vertical line on it, then you can see it. Control V, make it very thin. Very thin, then we can see it. Transparency, yeah. So we went into the trade. You can see written at the bottom here, 14th May, it says 2100. So this is where we went into that trade. You get what I'm saying? But before then, this is the candlestick pattern we saw. So if we've gone into the trade here, in the spreadsheet, the date was 14th May 2022. Time was 2100. So date 14th May. Time, then you select the time 2100. What pattern do we see? We saw a tweezer bottom. Yeah. And then the question then is, did we meet the, if we are here, did we meet the 2% target in this candle? So we have to just take the ruler now and then come and measure it. It's more than even 2%. So we met the 2% in this candle. So yes, you understand. And then we find the next trade. Next trade, where was the next opportunity? Yeah, this one, it's a bullish engulfing, right? So we have this candle, we have this bullish engulfing. So we would have gone into the trade on this one. So what date was it? Let's pull this across and then put it down there. It was the 15th of May. So that's the next day, 15th, let's say 05. The time was 21, the same time as the previous day. All right, so these things can also give us a pattern. What did we see? We saw a bullish engulfment. And then let's go and find out, did we meet the target in that very time, that very time frame, within the 4 hour candle when we went into the trade? So we have to then measure. So we're gonna measure, we'll take the ruler and come and measure. Yes, we met the 2%, because when you measure the whole candle did not even finish, and you can see it is 2.56% already. So we said yes. You understand? Then we find another opportunity on the same candle. You see, just the next one. You see, this one is tweezer top, and then we would have gone into the trade on this one. Let me expand these things and you can see it. I want it to be huge so you can see. Yeah, you see, this is a tweezer top, so we would have gone into the trade on this one. So we got this tweezer top, we would go into the trade on this one, just like that. So once we've gone into the trade on this one, the date is the 16th of May, 0500. This thing, 16th of May, sorry, is the next day in the morning. 05. So we just use the drop down. You get the list 0500 is there. And then it gives you, what did we saw? We saw a tweezer top. And then let's go and measure and see, did we get the 2% in that? We come here, yes. Once you measure from the top, you can see we've not even finished the candle. We got 2.77. So it's yes. Now, what was the next opportunity? The next opportunity. So this came down, it came here. It wasn't anything that we can write. It's not one of our candlestick patterns. The two weren't. This one came down here. It was on support line, so we couldn't do anything. We had this thing, how we call it? We call this doji. So it's an indecision candle. We cannot decide on it. This one was a doji. We cannot decide on it. And then we had this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4. It formed something like a morning star. Okay. It forms something like a morning star. So this morning star, we would have gone into the trade on this candle. So the question then is, when we went into this candle, did we get our 2%? So the date is 17th May 2022. So it goes 17th. 05. The date was 05 again. The time was 05 again. And then what did we see? We saw something, it looks more like a morning star. So we picked that one, morning star. And then we go and measure. Did we hit the target in the first candle? So when you are doing this, you should notice that there are wicks on the candles. That is part of it, because at the point that price went to that far. So when you're measuring, you measure from the bottom here to the top, including candle. You see, it's just past the week. It's not even gone past the week. You have 223. If you bring it down to 21, you're still in the candle with the week, which means that you passed it. You got the 2% there. And that's it. You do this. So what you would do is, you can decide to go way back and do your psychological level in such a way that you go way back. And when you go way back, you do all those things. If you're having problem with the psychological levels, this one like that, look at this psychological levels like that. If you're having problems, let's go back. If you're having problems with the psychological level, for ADA, I have done the psychological levels, right? The psychological levels that we did was started from 0.55 and it went to 6, 7. So you create your own psychological levels. I would say that. Create your own psychological levels and see how that works. If you're having challenges with the psychological levels, put that information in the chat and then we'll review psychological levels again. But create your own psychological level. Once you've created that, then you go way back. So the psychological levels that you're going to create, it should go up enough so that you can go way back and get price actions on those psychological levels. If that is done, you realize that you'll be able to have more, how we call it, places to test. You know what I mean? So you get more opportunities to test. And then that would help you fill out the form. We are targeting about 100 testings. That's what we normally do. We go back. If you cannot go too far back, then you have to continue your testing, maybe even from now on, whenever the opportunity comes, you test it and see if it happened, you know, or you even trade it in Bybit and see if it happened, you know what I mean? So in that regard, this is how we're going to do the testing. If you've done this one, you can also decide that, okay, you want to select another coin and do the same thing, like let's say BNB. And then BNB, so you have to go and open the BNB chart. Take your BNB chart to do the psychological levels on it like this. And then you test it. You see, I have a lot more in it. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I think I have a lot more in this one. But you do your psychological levels. Normally it will be this. We take this one out. but I'm using this thing strategy for something. That's why you see lots of psychological levels in it. These ones, something like that. You space it out properly, and then you use it for the testing. Yeah. And then you just put the results here. You put the results here. And then if you want to test a third coin, go and select something like room and then do it. Someone's this thing speakers on. Okay, I think it's off now. All right, that's fine. So that is it. So this is for testing. I have put the spreadsheet on the WhatsApp group. So maybe I'll send this one, and then you would just see how I fill this one in. I'll send this one as well, so you can see how I filled in as an example, and then you can follow through. Okay. All right. So that is that. For Bybit, I think what I'm going to rather do is I'm going to end the meeting now, and then I'll send you guys a video, a walkthrough video on Bybit, how to use Bybit. I think it's better that way because yeah, there's a very good video that I've seen, which you can just go through, right? And then when we meet next week, we will find a way to get people to engage. I think around this time, once you've been able to do your back testing, I would find a day. I would arrange that with your pastor. I was saying to him that I will find a day so that we can just have a meeting in person. Then I can see how you're progressing. I can really see exactly what you guys are doing on your laptops with regards to TradingView, your psychological levels, how you're recognizing the various types of candles. So you should possibly have the candlestick patterns, locked down. You should know them. If you see it, you should be able to notice them, So let's round this thing up. If anyone has a question, you can ask it now. Other than that, I'm just going to be on this thing for the next 6 minutes. 8 o'clock, I'm going to jump off. And so then if someone has a question, let's just address that now, and then we can call it a day. I'm going to post this thing again, the spreadsheet. So there's the one with the one I filled it in. So you can have it. That's it. Okay. I'm going to stop the recording.